like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us.
Now who that is?
Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing it. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second belt.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet them at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles Live. Guys, I got to do that over. Hang on one sec. Oh, whoa, what the heck? What is going on, Candle Mafia? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream, where apparently everything in the studio just defaulted. We got the sign back here emitting the lumens of the sun right now. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Bitcoin is continuing to get that little move to the downside, guys. As you know, over these past few streams, we have been looking at that key level on Bitcoin being the POC of that macro range, saying if we cannot reclaim that level and we get stuck underneath that POC, the next likely place for price to go is likely going to be that value area low, which we just basically front ran. We did come down to some key levels that we looked at yesterday. I'm going to break down all these levels, guys, because we were getting a little bounce yesterday, but there were some very specific things that I was looking at that was making me anticipate another drop to the downside before I took my long position. And then we got the setup last night. I got stopped out at break even while I was sleeping and then woke up, caught another fresh entry, and I am now in that long. But I'm going to break down the price action, guys, and I want to do something a little bit different today. We're going to take a look. I will do the full market update as we typically do, but I want to zoom out here, and I actually want to take a look at the bearish case, right? I'm not calling for Bitcoin to go to zero, but I want to look at the bearish case. What happens if we are going to see some more downside here? I'm going to compare this cycle, or where we are in the market right now, to the previous cycle and see if we can get any information extrapolated to the current price action and see if it can help us make our predictions for what is about to happen next on Bitcoin. So buckle up. It's going to be a good one, guys. And shout out to the Mafia. I see you guys in here already. But let's go ahead and don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some free crypto, maybe a Frankie Candles hat, which, by the way, guys, this thing is bugging the heck out of me. It's, like, kind of crooked. I hate this. And the camera's mirrored, so it's kind of hard to, like, fix it. It's actually really, really frustrating. But anyway, guys, smash that like button if you like puppies. And if you hate puppies, smash the like button anyway. But let's go ahead and shout out the Mafia real quick before we jump in here. Shout out to Darren Does Things. What is going on? Said, Frankie, call that cousin of yours. We need to have a word. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Yeah, we did make a call to my cousin Satoshi the other day. We asked him to move the price, but we didn't say we wanted it to go down. But shout out to Darren Does Things. We got Kalichi in the chat. What is going on? Tony D with a super chat. Shout out to Tony D. Said, if we hit 500 likes, I'll buy Frank a new chair. And I'll actually double down on that, Tony. I'll buy you a new chair, and we'll give away a free chair to somebody in the Candle Mafia. Maybe. I don't know. We'll just order it and send it to your house or something. I don't know. Maybe you don't need a computer chair. But what is going on? Donato Cabrera, I see you, brother. We got Elite Ways, French Toaster, saying he's brand new here, which I know is a fib, and not the kind of fib that we're usually pulling around here. What is going on? We got Wick 589. We got RPM 87, Dr. Crimson, Alex O. What is going on, bro? He says, zero for BTC sounds good. Alex, I agree, bro. Like I said yesterday, I'm a little bit more scared or nervous for a move up rather than a move down. I actually wouldn't hate that. But again, today I want to take a look at that longer-term bearish case. How low can we go if things get really scary here? There's some things I'm looking at, and I also want to take a look at the altcoin market and talk about some things we're seeing on Total 3 that could lead us to be able to predict when altcoins may be able to recover. So stick around. It's going to be an amazing show. And with all that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me get current here on the live chat. And shout out to Tony D. Said, bros offering chairs for the Mafia. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, we'll send you whatever you want. But let's go ahead and jump on into these charts and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on. Here at the Crypto Maxi said, if you're scared right now, then you're an emotional trader. Not good. And it is funny. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts here real quick. And Crypto Maxi, I want to kind of touch on that for a second because I don't know if I'm not seeing things correctly, but yeah, like, excuse me. A lot of people are acting like, this is some kind of massive meltdown for Bitcoin, which is like, if you zoom out, it's really not that scary. It's actually pretty not volatile right now, in my opinion. But even like, I was on TikTok last night scrolling through some TikTok like crypto influencers, and they're like, these are the altcoins that I'm picking up on this Bitcoin meltdown. And I'm like, Bitcoin meltdown. I mean, this is just, we are literally ranging sideways, but that does not mean that we can't be on the cusp of a meltdown, guys. So let's go ahead and break down the charts for you guys right now. Now, as you guys know, if you tune into the Frankie Candles live stream daily, or at least as much as you can, you will know that this move down was not really that shocking, right? We knew we had the higher time frame red dots printing. We had that weekly red dot. That was the big thing we were watching last week, saying if this red dot prints on the weekly time frame, it is likely going to cause more downside. And then we also had the 6-day, the 5-day, and the 4-day red dots printing as well, which are now all confirmed. So not super shocking to see this little pullback. And if we pull up our levels here real quick before we jump into the nitty-gritty of things, I do just want to bring this up briefly. We know that we're within this volume profile, and as soon as we rejected this high here, which by the way was a setup in the premium Discord to go short, as we got this swing failure of this wick from right here on the 20th of May, but it's really, once you get back below this value area high, the next likely place for price to go is the POC, and then once you lose that point of control, that is where you're going to be looking for the move down to your value area low, where we also had these two other levels. This was the level that we front ran yesterday, and we literally on the live stream last night, I was saying, guys, typically when we front run a level, sometimes it can get a little bit hard not to FOMO into that move, but 9 out of 10 times, if we wait for the actual level that we're waiting for to come in, 9 out of 10 times, we do see a move back down to that level. And you guys can see we did front run it right here as we were coming up yesterday. And then what happened last night, we wound up coming back down to this level. This is why I do not take willy-nilly trades. I have to wait for my levels to get hit. I was not looking for a setup for a long here, so I simply did not take the trade. Now, could you have made a little bit of money up to the POC? Sure. Not that it's not a tradable move, but for me, the move was, or the level that I was looking at was down here, closer to 64,673, or just basically this whole golden pocket. And I'll be honest with you guys. The fact that we are so close to the value area low right now, the long that I'm in right now, I am treating as more of a scalp position, right? I'm not looking for this necessarily to moon to higher prices, because typically when you get this close to the value area low, eventually, even if we do get a bounce here, eventually we are looking for that value area low to potentially come in. But before we dive too much into the TA there, guys, I do just kind of want to talk about things, and I want to talk about that kind of macro bearish scenario. As you guys know, we have this support zone down here between about $52,000 and $51,000, and I want to talk about the significance of this level, and if we do wind up losing the lows here, if we do come down there, why I'm looking at this level as such a strong place to look to potentially buy the dip, add to my alt bags, maybe even buy a little bit more Bitcoin. I want to talk about that really quickly because let's come up to the weekly time frame here. And I'm actually going to pull up the, and we'll take a look at Solana in a minute, but I want to pull up the Bitstamp chart here and take a look at my cycle chart, which I've shown many, many times on the channel. And basically all I did on this chart, guys, was essentially I just marked out the halvings, the bottoms, the tops, the distances between certain things, just to kind of get a bearing on what has happened in the past so we can easily compare those numbers into what to what is happening right now on the current price action. And one thing I do want to talk about, which I've actually talked about a few different times, but I do want to just kind of cover this. Last cycle when we had the halving come in about May of 2020, pretty much from that halving, guys, until we wound up getting the impulse or the big start of that parabolic bull run, it took about 161 days. Now, and what happened since that halving, right? We had the halving come in, we got a little push to the downside, little sideways action, a little pump up, and then another big dump down. But for the most part, guys, we went sideways here, regardless of these little dumps. And I do just want to zoom in here. Just imagine, guys, this move here from this wick high all the way to the low is a 22% dump. And this was really just nothing. In hindsight, this was just a little blip on the radar and essentially just kind of in the long term, translates to sideways price action before that big move to the upside. But 161 days from that halving to the actual breakout where we started seeing the fun really begin there. And if we compare that now, there's nothing saying that, as they say, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it oftentimes rhymes. And I can say this is the case, right? This is the case based off experience, not just because that's how I feel. We have used the past cycles and taken information from them to help us predict what was going to happen on Bitcoin next, and that's how we were able to predict some of these large moves on Bitcoin, specifically this one right here, was heavily based off analyzing the previous cycles. Now, I don't just take what happened in the previous cycle and say to myself, this will probably happen again, right? We have to take this information into account while also understanding that we're not just looking for things to just repeat themselves. So, if we do wind up, right, we have our halving coming in here in April, right? And if we were to see the same kind of thing of sideways price action, for about 161 days, this brings us into September, right? Again, could give us somewhat of a boring summer, which I will be honest with you guys is not my favorite thing, right? This is not really what I want, but it may be what we're looking to. This may be what's coming up next, right? So pretty much, if we do see some moves to this, if we get some sideways price action here, and let's say we do break these lows, I do think it would make some kind of sense to get a move down to that 51 to 52K zone. If we pull some Fibonacci retracements here, pull it from the low to the high, you can see our golden pocket comes in just below that zone at about $43,590. And then I'm sure you could probably pull some more local fibs to get you a little closer to that zone. But for the most part, I mean, I'll even be honest, guys, this is definitely that next zone of support that I would be looking at between about 51 and 52K. However, there's really it's not that much, right? We just have this little kind of sticking point, but to be quite honest with you, this zone down here may even be a more saucy, and I'll be honest with you guys, I would be pulling my fib here probably, from this wick down here. So, this 43 to, I would say, 42K zone is definitely a stronger level of support in my opinion. Now, I'm not calling for this to come in, but I'm just saying, guys, if we are going to go somewhat sideways or even get a big drop, I don't think this 51 to 52K level is off the table. And even if we did come all the way down to test that golden pocket or even that 786, maybe with a panic wick or something, this could potentially be what we see, right? Now, again, there's no reason to really call for this right now, but I just want to talk about those levels underneath us, and this is kind of nice confluence, not on that 51 to 52K zone, but this $43,000 to $42,000 zone. And we also have many other key levels in here on top of not only the golden pocket, but I believe we do have some naked points of controls, high time frame naked points of controls down here as well. So, if we do wind up having a boring summer, maybe we get some drops. These are going to be like the two major zones I'm looking at, right? 51 to 52 and then 43 to 42. And at this point, guys, it's really not that terrifying in my opinion. Let me actually see where this comes in. Yeah, and if you pull it from, this is the actual fib, from this current impulse, right? So you go from the lowest point before you break these previous highs, pull from the low all the way to the high, and you can see that golden pocket does come in beautiful, beautiful confluence with this area of support where we not only have naked points of controls, but we also have a whole naked value area, which I could show you guys a little bit more in detail in a second. But in my opinion, guys, like if we were to come down here and tap these levels, this would just be a golden pocket 786 retracement of this entire move to the upside, right? So that's not necessarily something that I would be completely panicking about, but I could only imagine what the crypto space is going to think if we go down there, right? If we are freaking out here and everybody is calling this it almost feels silly to say on the thumbnail, will Bitcoin recover? Recover from what? I mean, we are up, right? Maybe if you bought the tippy top of this wick, you would want it to recover. But this is really not that crazy in the grand scheme of things, right? In my opinion, this is quite boring, right? We are simply just ranging sideways. But again, if we do slip these lows, chances are, based off the low volume gaps that we have, if we zoom in here a little bit and pull up the VPVR, or the VRVP as some people like to call it, let me come in here, turn off that value area high, value area low, and POC. You can see here, right? If we do wind up losing these lows, we do have quite a volume gap, and then that next high volume node is coming in right here on that $51,000 to $52,000 zone, right? Which we also know now, right, is confluent with that golden pocket, right? Actually pulled to this wick, right? Beautifully confluent with that golden pocket. So even if we did slip to that 786, not only do you have the 786, but you also have this beautiful, beautiful little area of support down here where I am still long from down here below this wick, or not below the wick. I don't think you can enter a trade not on a wick, but I am still long from down here. But again, guys, we do have some pretty significant support below, minus this gap, right? But again, if we do come down here, that would simply just be a golden pocket retracement of this entire move up, which in my opinion, is not that scary, right? Now, obviously, we want price to go up, but I just want to kind of put a little bit of, I want to put something out there just to not really scare people, right? And I'm not saying I'm anticipating this. Trading isn't if this, then that statement, right? So it's not until we wind up breaking down below this value area and then we lose these lows. That is where I think the quick move down to this level may occur. But again, if that happened, guys, I'm not scared, right? Just because of the TA here, right? This is a significant level to look for a retracement on, and you're not normally panicking when you're just going down for a golden pocket retracement, right? This is very similar to when if you pull up the Bitstamp chart and we come all the way back here, it's kind of the same thing. This was a little different because we had the Black Swan event in 2020, but like a lot of people were probably absolutely losing their minds on this dump to the downside, but on the weekly, we simply just came down, slipped that 786, and then grabbed that 786's support, and it was simply just a 786 retracement before the bigger move to the upside. But if you don't know about these things, right, if you don't know these levels to be looking at, this could be a very, very scary thing, especially when it's accompanied by horrifying news, something that has like never happened in our lifetimes. 2020 was a crazy time, as you guys know. So I'm not saying that those emotions aren't going to come into your trading at that point. But, in hindsight, like, what do? We came back down for that 786. We got a big move up, retracement to the golden pocket, lost the golden pocket. And then once you lose this golden pocket, if you're just looking at the information on the charts and getting all the noise out, what are you looking for to come in next? Simply put, that 786. And what did you wind up holding before the big move? That 786. So that's why I think it's important, regardless of if we even do come down to those levels, I do think it's important to have them on the chart. That way, if you do wind up just getting a panic dump to the downside, you at least are not panicking yourself, but simply just looking down to those next key levels, sitting on your hands and waiting for those levels to come in, and then making a decision as you interact with these key levels. Is there a reason to look for a long, or does it look more like we're going to come down to the 786, which again has that nice backup support of this naked value area down here? And by naked, I simply just mean that, we left that range and we have not come back down to retest it yet, right? Not that we have to, but I'm just saying this naked value area is likely to give us some support if we do come back down there. And you do have confluence with that 786 and that volume profile right here. So I'll mark that out in blue for you guys. But yeah, for the most part, guys, like, could we see some really boring sideways action or maybe even some bearish action here for the next, let's call it, let me pull up the cycle chart here one more time. Call it, if we bring it out 161 days right now, I'm not expecting that to be 100% accurate, but just a ballpark. That brings you to about September, and that does bring us, if we grab our measuring tool from that current price action, from today all the way into, say, September. Yeah, we could have a bit of boring or even bearish sideways action here, but again, that's not going to freak me out. Like I said, a lot of people were probably freaking out on this dump, but in hindsight, we were just on the way to that parabolic bull run. So, and that's not to say if we start breaking some key levels, like, we're not going to flip more bearish, but at this point, guys, in my opinion, I mean, this is only we're down 11%, right? Like, it's not that crazy for Bitcoin. And I was really shocked to see, like, people like influencers saying, like, oh my God, this huge Bitcoin pullback. Like, I'm like, I almost think to myself, like, am I looking at the wrong chart? Like, where is this gigantic pullback? We are simply just ranging here. So I just want to give everybody a little bit of peace of mind. Even if we do get those bigger moves down, guys, we do have support below, and just get prepared, because if that move happens, everyone's going to be screaming for the world to end and, or the crypto world to end, I guess. But we're just looking down towards those key levels, right? This is like key to, keeping those emotions out of your trading, right? You just want to have your levels set so you know where price is going to go next, or at least you have an idea of where price might cool off if it's just free falling. So there you go. There's kind of the most bearish case, at least, in the near future that I can possibly think of. But as of right now, guys, looking at the current price action, very simply put, what have we been talking about all week, right? And even last week? As long as we have our higher time frame money flow in the red, such as the 16-hour, such as the 12-hour, etc., even the 10-hour, and on top of those higher daily time frame red dots that we talked about in the beginning of the stream, every bounce to the upside has to be looked at as a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high and continue back to the downside. And then yesterday we got another push up, right? Or I guess here we got another push up, but we had to look at that as a lackluster bounce to the upside to likely put in a lower high and continue to the downside. This is why I was confident in waiting for my key level to get hit, right? I was not panic longing on this imaginary bounce that we had, which was on a local golden pocket that I was not watching, but I was waiting for that actual key level to come in, and we did wind up coming down to that, right? But I want you guys to understand that the reason why this is not shocking is because of all this money flow in the red. It made it very likely, and this is important, right? Because when you're seeing price fall and then you get a bounce, it gets really exciting, and a lot of people will FOMO long that. Now, not that you can't scout those little moves, but a lot of people just be like, this is the bounce. How do I know when this is the bounce? But when you have very clear guides such as money flow, right? Like this money flow just crossed over into the red. We can anticipate that as long as this remains in the red and we don't start curving back up to the green or up at least up towards that zero line looking to cross over into the green, we can anticipate any bounce to the upside to be lackluster, to put another move to the downside and break our structure back down. And again, not only that, but we, on top of the money flow, we talked about how, not only do we use money flow to try to stay on the right side of the trades, you're going to want to favor shorts in a move like this, again, based off money flow as well. But it's also just simple market structure, right? We took a look at this yesterday. Once you get that bearish change of character, this is where you're not looking too long, right? Unless you're like scalping the lower time frames, but that's a specific scenario, right? But once you get these changes of character here, you're gonna be much better off hunting for shorts on the retracements to the upside. And it's this change of character that gives you that front run on the sentiment, right? It's, oh, we got a bearish change of character, so I'm not really gonna trust these bounces to the upside. Instead, I'm gonna be looking for retracements to look for fresh short positions, right? And again, I am long from here, so it's not that you can't long, but you just have to understand the context of, how the market moves, right? And, just with the volume profiles, it makes it very, very simple. Because yesterday we knew if we couldn't get back above this POC, I remember saying it like word for word, if you can't get back above that POC, you are likely to get that breakish structure to the downside, targeting this golden pocket and potentially the value area low 786. Now, I want to talk about why I am treating this scalp long that I'm in as a scalp. And I am treating this with heavy, heavy caution, right? And the reason for that has to do with the liquidity. And I want to go ahead and pull that up real quick for you guys. Where do we have it? Right here, right? So if we take a look, if you guys do not know what we're looking at here, this is simply a liquidation heat map, which shows us where the levels are, where a lot of leverage traders are likely to get liquidated. How can this help us, right? Simply put, once you flush out that leverage, oftentimes you will get a sharp reversal to the downside, and you have to think about these high liquidity zones, right, or these areas where you have a high concentration of liquidations. I like to think of these as magnets on the chart, right? Price likes to get gravitated towards these high liquidity areas, right? And these are highlighted in bright yellow and bright green, and then the low liquidity zones are marked out by dark blue, right? The brighter the green, the heavier the concentration of liquidations. So the one thing I'm looking at here, guys, is sure, we have taken, let me zoom in here a little bit. Sure, we have taken a bit of this liquidity out. Let me see if I can I get rid of at least one of these? Bada boom. Okay. So, we did take out some of this liquidity right here. However, if you look down below, we have another hot block of liquidity sitting down here between about $62,400. Now, does this hold any significance on the actual price chart? And again, remember this number, 62,004, 62,005, pull back up. Trading view here, and you can see right inside of this next blue box, right down here by that 786, which is our next key zone of support, we do have a lot of that liquidity is sitting right in this area, which means if we do come down here, we could potentially start liquidating some of those positions, causing a wick to the downside, which would be very, very, very scary for a lot of people. But this is generally where I like to look for long positions, not blindly, right? I'm not looking for price to come down here, go below the range, and just long for no reason, right? We have to have an actual entry trigger, but this as we know, liquidity acts as a magnet for price. So not only have we lost the POC, which makes the value area low a high likely target, a high likelihood to get hit, right? But we know that there's liquidity sitting down here as well, which is also going to act as a magnet, just sucking price back down. So again, this does not mean that we can't get the strong bounce here, but again, just based off the volume profiles, guys, like minus all the other advanced techniques that we use here, if you just look at this volume profile, just naked, just nothing, looking at nothing other than the volume profile, very simply put, it's just getting respected. We took the long below the low here, flipped that value area low to support, went to the POC, back to the value area high. Once you couldn't get back above that value area high, again, we had that short set up in the Discord to look for shorts up here on a very specific confirmation signal because we knew if we got rejected here, we would be at risk of getting sucked back into the range and then going back to the POC and then back to the value area low. And you guys can see here we are just a few bucks away from that value area low. And this is why we use the volume profiles, because it's very, very simple. You have the 3 key levels, and not only are they key levels, but each level gives you insight into what is likely to happen next. And this is how we're able to call these moves, right? So very simply put, Key levels of support do remain the same. We're hitting our first zone that we've been looking at, which is that golden pocket. Like I said, I am in a scalp long from this level, but not shocked if we get another push down here to that value area low, 786 confluence, where we know we have that liquidity sitting. So with that being said, we do also have a fresh green having a market cipher. There we go. We do have a potential fresh green dot about to print here, guys. If we are kind of what I'm looking at to see this long continue to play out a little bit, I will be looking for this green dot on the 4-hour. Once that green dot prints, I'm going to go down to that 15-minute time frame and look at our money flow. Is our money flow coming back up? Is it crossing over into the green? Because we know if we get that 15-minute money flow crossover into the green at the same time as that green dot, we may be able to get that long to play out a little bit more with the overall context and the overall understanding that the high time frame money flow crossing into the red is likely, even if we get a bigger pump here, we could potentially just continue to put those lower highs in to hit that final target of the value area low. Will we hit the value area low? We don't know, but this is why we take these other trades on these local levels to potentially cover ourselves if we do get a big bounce from here. And like I said, I am still holding those longs from much lower down here at about 40K. So if we do wind up coming up, those will continue to pay us out. But again, more often than not, especially if you guys watch this live stream, you'll just know from watching, more often than not, we'll just come up here and talk about what the volume profile is likely calling for, and almost every single time, it does wind up playing out. I can really only... Now, I don't want anyone thinking that if you use volume profiles, it's just going to smack 100% of the time, because that's not necessarily the case. But I could really only remember one time on stream where, that volume profile just didn't play out and we didn't hit the value area low. But again, these are the key levels. Simply put, same stuff we've been looking at. But that's my overall plan. And especially, again, if things get super bearish, guys, I want everybody to take a deep breath, zoom out, and look at what is really going on in the market. You have to understand a lot of influencers, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of TikTokers, me included, right? A lot of clickbait. Here's the thing. Fear gets clicks, right? And so does FOMO, right? Like, oh my God, we're going to 100K. Don't forget to buy. Creators have an incentive to put fear in their audience, right? And that's why you guys never really see me come up here and go, it's going to zero. It's always an if this, then that statement, because that's how the market moves. But I know a lot of fear is being spread out there, and I just want everybody to kind of, not that there's no reason to be upset about price going down, but let's look at it through realistic goggles, right? Because I'm not here to, blow smoke up your fibs, but we just like to look at the information on the chart. And like I said, even if we were dumping down here, I was kind of rooting on this breakdown of the range. I was kind of rooting on that push down to 51 to 52K, if I'm being honest, right? I would have liked that because I would have picked up some more altcoins, which brings me to my next point. Go ahead and drop those altcoins in the chat, guys. If you want to see your favorite altcoins, let's start getting those spammed in chat so Rob the Crypto Snob can count out the votes and let us know what we're looking at. But that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Right now, in the short term, looking for that green dot to potentially print. If it prints with that money flow on the 15-minute and even the 12-minute crossing into the green, I do think if the bigger move does happen or a bigger move happens here, I think that money flow crossover into the green is going to be the thing that probably starts that move. So and then in the long, maybe into tomorrow, we could kind of look for that green dot. If we're going to get a big move up here, I think that green dot on the daily is a big thing to look at. But that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Don't panic. Don't listen to the fear. And again, not that we can't come lower, but don't get scared for no reason, right? When someone says this is bad for Bitcoin, push them, right? Back it up. What are you looking at, right? Like people say this big crypto correction. This is a range. This is not a big crypto correction, in my opinion, at least. But we know that 5% is that number that people see and start to freak out about, right? It's that 5% move. People start to get scared. But you have to understand a lot of people have been buying up here, right? Especially a majority of retail, right? Not a lot of retail was buying down here. A lot of people were out of crypto at this point, thinking that it was dead. And then they get the big pump to the upside, and they're like, oh, maybe I should buy. And then they get the big rip up, and they're like, oh, maybe I should definitely buy. And this is a big retail trap, in my opinion, because, a lot of people were probably buying up or even longing up here. So flushing out all those longs, airing out the retail may be on the to-do list for the market makers, and we have to be ready for that, right? But let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Samad, shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that super chat. He said, can you look into SATS BRC20, please? It's a BTC native altcoin. Shout out to Samad. I will try to take a look at that for you. If I can find a chart for it on TradingView, I will definitely try to take a look at that for you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. And a deal with another super chat. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. He says, Frankie, check the old spider lines on BTC. A deal. Don't threaten me with a good time, brother. Do not threaten me with a good time, because I will take that opportunity. So let me go ahead and pull up the bada boom, bada bing. Where is it? Is it on my cycle chart? Where do I have my dang spider lines? Let me see here. I believe I do have them on here, potentially. Or maybe not. Hang on one sec, guys. I may have... oh, God. Where are my spider lines? Are they gone? Am I going to have to draw new spider lines? Please don't do that to me. Let's see here. Bitcoin. Oh, man. I don't know what chart they're on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, they're not on here, right? Or did I turn them off? Yeah. Shout out to a deal. Oh, God, I'm so tempted to draw them really quickly because I'm really curious what you're looking at. Are we hitting a key spider line? Well, shout out to anybody who's looking to draw spider lines. I can do this pretty quick, so I'm going to do it real quick for you guys. I'll do a quick tutorial, too. If you want to draw spider lines on your chart, you're going to want to go ahead and grab your ray tool, click on it, and then come down here, turn on your magnet tool, and you're going to want to start drawing on the weekly chart. I like to look at the Heikin-Ashi candles. And then basically what we do is we come on over here to the bear market of 2018, and I just like to start plotting these spider lines on the bodies of these candles as we were coming down into the bear market, and I like to lay them on top of the body of the candle sitting here on June 19th. And you can see that gives us beautiful, beautiful spider lines. And you can see the top here in March of 2021 came in right at that spider line. But let me go ahead and bada boom, we'll draw it here. Let me lock this up so it could be a little quicker. Bada boom. I'm probably not going to be able to find this exact spider line that you're talking about, a deal. I wish I had my chart here. My initial chart. Yeah, I'm not going to spend the time to try to find it. Shout out to a deal. Maybe we'll run into that chart at some point, but I'm not going to spend all the time. But you guys can see these spider lines are absolutely respected. It's absolutely insane. But the non-logarithmic and the logarithmic spider lines do wind up playing out more often than not, or they do wind up being respected. But yeah, what chart do I have my spider lines on? I bet you it's on one of these unnamed charts, which I'd probably have to go through 150 of them to find the correct one. I'll try one more. Here. Old new live stream. Macro. Oh, man, yeah, these are going to be, maybe it's this one. Last try for the spider lines. Here we go. Come on, give it to me. Nope. Okay. Well, anyway, shout out to a deal. I'll have to take a look at that, and I'll bring it up on tomorrow's live stream. We probably do have a spider line coming in here at somewhere close, but. Let's go ahead. I do want to take a look at Total 3, guys, really quickly, and take a look at the altcoin market and some of the things that are coming in here that could potentially point towards let me pull it up on this chart. I believe this is the one I marked up. Total 3, bada boom. Yeah, so what I am looking at here, I'll just clear this up and make it all new. Let's come on over to the 4-hour time frame here. And I do want to take a look at this with you guys because if we see this start to bottom, it could point in the direction of an altcoin recovery because obviously the altcoins are starting to get pretty decent moves to the downside, especially things such as DOT and Atom, Polkadot, Atom. A lot of these things are starting to take a beating, like even Atom, if we zoom out on the weekly, you could see like basically down here at those bear market lows, not the best look here. But again, I see these as buying opportunities, but if we look at Total 3 here, guys, what I want to take a look at with you guys is, let me pull up the daily, let's pull up the 8-hour here just so we can get a kind of decent view, right? So what I want to do here is I'm going to pull this little volume profile that we have here. And as you guys know, when we use this on an actual asset that we're trading, typically when you get those deviations below the low, this is where you're looking for the longs back up to the value area low. And then if you can get back into the value area low, you can look for the fill of the entire range. Now, granted, I'm not trading Total 3, obviously, but as we come down and deviate below this range, we could start to look for some potential bullish confirmations down here to see if we are likely to get a reversal on this, which would be good for altcoins, right? And if we come on down here to the 4-hour, now this is not the prettiest divergence. I want to be very clear about that. This is an extremely sharp angle, but you do have your lower lows on your price action, and you do have slightly, almost equal lows here on your oscillator or market cipher B. You do have somewhat of a divergence here. Even if these are equal lows, it is still considered a divergence, which could give us a little bit of a bounce here, which could give the altcoins a bit of a bounce, right? Oh, I thought Bitcoin was pumping. I'm looking at a different chart here. But this could potentially give us a move to the upside, which, again, it could mean we could get a bounce on the alts. However, it's not the prettiest setup here, right? Like, this is kind of a low probability divergence, in my opinion. But looking at this can give us a little bit of an idea. And just in general, right, we're, like, back down here towards the lows, right? And if we are unable, if we do not break these lows, it may mean that, like, this is getting close to a bottom, right? And if we pull up a higher time frame here, even your your daily red dot is confirmed, like VWAP coming straight down, money flow coming out. To be honest, there's not too much good news here. But one thing I did want to just kind of point out was that potential 4-hour bullish divergence. You even have a wonked out 1-hour bull div, 90-minute bull div confirmed here. Take a look at the 2-hour. Like, these are wonked out divergences, but they could potentially give us a short-term bounce at least. Now, it wouldn't be anything I'd be making decisions off of, right? I'm not, like, looking to long altcoins because of this or anything. But it may not be, we may be at least able to stall out here a little bit, depending on if this gives us a continued bounce. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob. Let's go. Let me go ahead and pin that real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we do have some other support down here. Let's see. Let's pull up the daily real quick. Yeah, I mean, even from down here, you do have a little bit of extra support just below this wick. But yeah, like down here at about 554.05 billion, we do have some extra little structural support down there as well. And the point I'm trying to make here is, even if you pull this whole kind of range here, you guys can see, like, we are at the value area low. This is not necessarily, if I was trading this, I would not be looking to FOMO short here, right? I would be more inclined to look for a long, right? Which means we could be potentially, maybe likely to get a bounce up here on total 3, right? And if we do come up, we now know that this level right here at about 634 is going to be key resistance, right? And then once we flip that $634 billion mark, that is where we can expect a potential move back up for the altcoins and a big pump on the altcoins. Once we fill this range, that is likely where the big moves up will happen. Not like the big parabolic moves, but a bigger recovery could happen for those altcoins. So just a few levels on total 3. To give everybody another little peace of mind, right? Not peace of mind, but at least clear vision into what is likely to happen next. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's see. Adil said on total 3, pull your fib. Oh, Adil, tell me to pull the fib here. Whoa. Shout out to Adil, says on total 3, pull your fib from Tuesday, the 23rd, January 2024 to the top. Touch the golden pocket perfectly before and prime to touch again. Let's see here. January 23rd. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, January 23rd, which I guess is this low right here. Bada boom, to the high. And there you go. Yeah, golden pocket, 786 sitting right here at about 514. So this actually, shout out to a deal. That 786 could be kind of like, hopefully we don't have to come down and test that. But if we do, this would be a level I would definitely keep an eye on as well. Again, coming in at 514 billion. 497, right? However you want to interpret that number or read that number. So there you go, right? Like pretty decent support sitting down here. It could even make that like a giant zone, right? So, even if we come here, that could cause the bounce as well. But yeah, we are approaching support here on the total 3. So yeah, this is kind of like decision time, because if we just melt through this zone, that would be very, very bad in my opinion. And we'd have to reassess the situation if that were the case. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and continue on. Have you ever checked out others at USDT, all the alts minus the top 10? Shout out to Flavor. Not typically. I do not. Shout out to Donato Cabrera saying, pull your fib. Let's see. Shout out to Dixon. Said, it's funny you call something a scam, yet it's up with 0 facts. Shout out to Dixon. You must be talking to somebody in the chat. Shout out to Dixon. Dixon Apple Juice, as you guys know. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Wick said, this Frankie YouTube movie is sad. I need a movie more uplifting like the Titanic. Yo, if you want to talk about things going down, I would not. Yeah, oh, God, Titanic might have been a bad reference. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Yo, what's good, fam? Shout out to Philly Skills. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Yo, shout out to Elon says, let's buy more BTC. And now stop selling, guys. Stop selling. It keeps going down. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here and start taking a look at some of these altcoins, starting off with Ethereum, guys. And Ethereum did wind up, let's see here. Yeah, Ethereum in a, basically the same situation that we were in yesterday. Let me pull it up on the live stream chart. Bada boom, bada bing. Pull off those Heikenashis. So, very similar to Bitcoin, guys. Like, this is our macro volume profile, at least that I'm looking at. And, just like Bitcoin, right? Last night, Bitcoin was getting a bounce into the POC of the range. And we know, although this is nice to see, we also know that if we're unable to get above this level, it is likely to give us another break to the downside, potentially targeting our next support zone, which is coming in between about 32.91 and 32.05. So, yeah, that's kind of, Ethereum just kind of like up here about to make a decision. Is it going to get rejected, or are we going to be able to flip that POC to support and get that bigger move up, targeting potentially back up to that value area high? But again, based off the volume profiles, guys, we broke into the range, could not get back above. As soon as you reject that value area high, you're going to be looking for a drop back down to that POC. And then once you lose that POC and can't get back above, that's where the bigger move comes down. Now, I am still short on Ethereum from up here at about 38.05. From that deviation above the volume profile. I said this yesterday. We do not just talk about this. We actually do it. So I am still short from this deviation above the range. And then, that kind of worked out nicely because I was looking for it to come to the value area high. And then once we got stuck underneath, I was looking to I didn't take profit here. I actually took profit down here. But I actually think I might have taken 2 TPs here. But once we got stuck underneath this range, I knew it was going to be very likely that we flew back deeper into this volume profile. And I just let that short run. And I am still holding it, or at least a portion of it, with those 2 TPs taken, or maybe 1 TP. I'd have to double check. But again, this is the deciding factor in my opinion. 35.04. If we cannot reclaim that decisively, right? Remember, the POC, the range, acts as a magnet, guys. So you're going to be bing-bonging around here. Bing-bonging around at these levels is very, very likely. And we even talked about this yesterday back here. You rejected that value area high, went right to the POC, but then you were back above it. Then you lost it again. Then you were back above it. Oh, my God. Oh, wait, no. Hang on one second. Okay. And then we lost it and went to the value area low. That's why I always say, the laws of the volume profile, you want to just remember, even if we do get back above this POC, we know it acts as a magnet, and just because we get above it for a minute or two doesn't mean that we're going to yeet back up to the high of the range, because we still have not tapped that value area low. And we all know laws of the volume profile: lose that value area high. Next likely place for price to go is the POC. After that, the next likely place for the price to go is the value area low. But price action is messy. Price action very rarely will just give you that straight move, and more likely than not, it will give you something like this before eventually coming down to hit that level. So that's how I'm handling Ethereum. As far as market cipher and the indicators, it is looking very similar to Bitcoin. We do have a fresh red dot on Ethereum on the daily, so that is going to be a little bit more bearish, especially as we reside underneath that POC. And then, other than that, looking very similar to Bitcoin. You have the 5-day red dot confirm, 6-day red dot confirm, and your weekly red dot is printing. So if we do see more downside into our next zone of support between 32.91 and 32.05, it's not going to be super crazy unpredictable, right? It's not going to be like a shocking thing. But based off the volume profile and market cipher, it does look like we could potentially continue a bit lower, unless, again, we decisively flip that POC to support. Pretty much the same TA that we were looking at yesterday. And this bounce is likely due to the fact that we had this 4-hour bullish divergence. Is that 15-minute money flow crossing up yet? Not quite yet. Let's check back in on Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's getting a 15-minute red dot. That next 15-minute green dot may be the thing that we need to get that push into the green with that money flow. And again, if we're going to get a bigger move up here, that 15-minute money flow with the 4-hour green dot, if it decides to print, is going to be the thing that I'm looking at. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Let's go ahead and see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Captain Kirk. What is going on? Said we had 2 officers injured due to falling out of chairs. Wait, shout out to Captain. I thought that was going to be some like crazy story about like a prison break or something, but they just fell off their chairs. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Thank you for being here. And it's hilarious. Yeah, they must be beefing with their chairs like I am. It's like the only beef I've ever had in my life. It's with my my office chair, of course. But shout out to Golden. Let's go. Dropping that super chat, except I can't see it. Hang on one second. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He said, broken chair, day 9. Yo, shout out to Golden. Broken chair, day 9. Massive hydraulic failure in your chair could lead to a very rapid... Shout out to Golden. Be careful. I'm not going to say it out loud. This is a family-friendly show, but shout out to Golden. Go check out that super chat, guys. Yeah, God, I'm going to have to get rid of this chair soon. Shout out to Golden. You guys crack me up, man. But let's go ahead and continue on to our next altcoin. Shout out to Tony D. Said that would be so funny. Hopefully you're not saying what I think you're saying. Let's see. What the Tony Frankie's like Benjamin Button. Am I reverse aging? Shout out to Wig 589. Let's say eating ice cream and watching chart replay from October all night. Let's go. Shout out to Flavor. I can't tell you how much chart replay I've watched in my life. Probably too much. I'm shrinking. He's shrinking. Woo. Oh God, I do not need to lower my chair on my own. This thing does it by itself enough. I do not have to aid it at all. But let's see. Shout out to Captain Kirk said I only have a green belt. Hey, it's better than no belt. Shout out to Captain Kirk. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Frankie's turning into a bearish divergence by 5 inches each stream. Bearish divergence on my chair's hydraulics, guys. All right, let's. I got a pink belt. Shout out to Jenny. Let's go. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. I only have okay. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Yo, let's go ahead and move on here and take a look at Whiff, also known as Frankie Whiff Chair. Let's go ahead and take a look here on Whiff. Oh God, the boring price action brings out the crazy chat. Oh, God, at least we're entertained. At least you guys keep it entertaining. When the price moves, I'm up here helping you guys. And when price is boring or just doing what we think it's going to do and there's nothing fresh to look at, you guys keep us entertained in the chat. I love it. All right, let's go ahead. Yo, shout out to Laser Edits. And I'm done with crypto. Shout out to Laser Edits. I'll be honest. I kind of feel the same way, brother, but not because of the dip. Just because of the, like, boring. I mean, what are we up to at this point? Right? Like, are we going to just keep measuring this? Like, it's 111 days. Like, is this just going to wind up being a year? Oh, baby, Bitcoin. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Push. Push, Bitcoin. Come on. You can do it. Give me that green dot on the 15-minute. Give me that money flow crossover into the green. Give me the 4-hour green dot. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. I'll double down and make it 100x just for the entertainment purposes. I'm just kidding. Do not use 100x, guys. It is extremely dangerous. Yo, shout out to Dixon. Hang on. Okay. Dixon says, Frankie, for the sake of entertainment and growth of the channel, if we find a sponsor, would you be willing to take a live WWE chair shot to the dome for 1 full Bitcoin? I don't know. Do they use like fake chairs though, don't they? Would it be a real chair? I don't know. I have a pretty hard head. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Dixon. We could talk about it. If I got a fair fight against the chair. Yeah. Frankie Candles versus chairs. Okay. Shout out to Out of the Bins. Says, you like baked beans, man? I don't not like them. I don't love them. Like, I don't, like, hunt them out at a barbecue. But I will eat them if they're there. I'm, like, kind of indifferent about baked beans. I don't think they're gross. I don't love them. Kind of just neutral. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on and take a look at Whiff. Bada boom. Okay, so take a look at the daily. Fresh red dot on Whiff. I mean, here's the thing, guys. The meme coins are probably going to take the hardest hit, as the alts dump. So keep that in mind. Fresh red dot on the daily for Whiff. This would generally be a negative sign, right? A bearish signal. Let me go ahead and see if we have any. Yeah, no points of control, really. At least ones that are close. Let's see. Bada boom. Let's go ahead and, let's pull up the VPVR. Not a lot here, to be honest. Yeah, is this like the only whiff? Is this all the price action? Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's pull some fibs here. Let's pull it from this little impulse to the high. All right, let me pull it to this swing. Okay, so these are definitely major levels, right? So if you're low, you break the high. This is the lowest point. Before you break this next high, this is where I'm pulling the fib from. This wick low right here, all the way to the high. This golden pocket was actually respected pretty nicely, especially for a meme coin. This golden pocket has been quite trusty, not gonna lie. But problem is, if we lose that golden pocket, I would say this is an actual key level, like in a very important key level, because there's really not too much below here. Like huge impulse to the upside does leave those gigantic volume gaps, right? We have the volume up here, huge gap, and then another high volume node. So if we lose this golden pocket, I mean, I'll be honest, you do have some kind of structure here. Yeah, I'll say you don't want to lose this golden pocket. You lose this golden pocket, you are definitely at risk, and I would feel somewhat okay looking for a journey down here to the 786 because of all this chopped up price action here. I don't know how quick the move would be. I don't know. It's not really a clean low volume gap, right? It's not like we have a high volume node here, a huge gap. It's kind of like some kind of volume, and then this choppy price action is likely going to give you some sticking points, right? Because at this point, right, you have a fresh daily level, right? So like right here, bada boom, you have a daily, right? So I would obviously look at this, right, and keep this in, take this into consideration. If you do wind up coming down to these levels, you have another daily level right here, right? I don't know if you're going to come down that low. Let's take a look at the weekly. No weekly horizontals, at least close. You have a weekly down here, which again, I don't know if you're going to come all the way back down there. But if you did, this would be a level to look at. But other than that, I would say you definitely want to hold this golden pocket. If you lose the golden pocket, next likely place for price to go is going to be that daily level sitting at about $1.70. And then once you lose that daily, I think that's probably where you'll see the quicker move down to that 786, getting closer to about $1.20. So yeah, if you continue down, right? But at this point, you are hitting support on the golden pocket. So, not necessarily expecting that to happen right now, but that is an if this, then that statement. If you lose the daily, I'd be looking down to about $1.20, about $1.26, right? Lose the 786, down to the 83 cents, and then down to 34 cents. Again, not expecting that, but those are just the key levels, right? Now, locally, does look like we may, it's very similar to Bitcoin, right? Maybe we get a little bit of a local bounce if we are able to confirm these bullish divergences, right? With you as you have those lower lows on price action into your key level, kind of a wonked out divergence. But as you have price coming down with momentum coming up, that kind of gives you that head scratching moment. What's going on here? Why is price continuing down if momentum and money flow is coming up? I would argue that money flow is not necessarily coming up, but with that green dot looking to print here on the 5 hour, do you have it? Yeah. So you have your green dot on the 4 hour. You are technically printing a bullish divergence here. Yeah, like even here is somewhat of like a exaggerated divergence, but yeah, so could you get a short-term bounce? Sure, but coming up to the higher time frames, fresh red dot on the daily, money flow coming out on the 2-day, 12-hour money flow in the red. Like this could potentially make us anticipate lackluster moves to the upside before putting in lower highs and continuing down. But if that does happen, now you have the key levels on whiff. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, if we get 400 likes, I'll drop a 50. Yo, smash it, Mafia. Let's go. Yeah, we got some gray names in here. Actually, shout out to Tony D. What are we at on likes? 267, guys. If we could run it up to 300, if we could run it up to 300 likes in the next, if we can run it up to 320 likes by 6:43, what did I say? 320 likes by 6:43. We'll drop some memberships as well. Shout out to Golden. But there we go, guys. Drop those likes. Get these memberships. Shout out to Jay Violet. What is going on? Hit the like, guys. Let's get it. Let's see. Bada boom. 700 people. Yo, is my YouTube broken? It shows I have 600 people in here. Yeah, maybe it's broken. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on and take a look at our next altcoin. I'll drop some sauce on that while you guys smash the like button. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Next altcoin is going to be Arrow, which is Aerodrome, or as I call it, Aerodome. I don't know why. My mouth just says Aerodome. I don't know why. But let's go ahead. Sounds like a football stadium. Anyway, Let's see. Aerodrome on Coinbase. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay. All right. Well, hey, we are at key support, guys. This is actually pretty pretty significant level, to be honest with you. So here we are. All right. So, okay. So we have lost. Let me actually take a look at the daily real quick. Yeah, fresh red dot on the daily. Not looking great here. It's better than a fresh money flow crossover, if I'm being honest. But yeah, red dot on the daily here could give more downside. Oh man, like our 4-hour bull div. If you reclaim this, right? If you reclaim this zone here, right? Or specifically this daily and weekly naked point of control at 80 cents. If this 4-hour bull div, right, is able, right, which we do have, it's barely there, if I'm being honest. But if this 4-hour bull div is able to give you a bounce above this level, this is the key level you want to flip to support in order to give you a bigger move to the upside. That is coming in at 80 cents, 0.80642. Did you guys see that bug? It was like a gnat. Clapped him. But anyway. Yeah, you do not want to get stuck under this level, in my opinion, right? This is kind of important. So, yeah, looks like you're about to print a green dot here on the 4-hour, but that divergence really has to get you over this level to flip it to support. And if you get stuck under here, probably going to be more downside, especially with that fresh red dot on the daily. Let's come up to some higher time frames here. We're limited on information here. 2-day green dot potentially looking to print. But yeah, we are looking. I wish I had higher time frame money flow to look at here on Arrow, but I just simply don't. Yeah, this is a key level. 80 cents, 80642. You got to reclaim that as support. If not, likely going to come lower. Let me pull up the VPVR really quickly here. Turn off the boom, 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 boom. Save it as default like I do every day. Yeah, if you lose this level, guys, sure, you have some support here, right? Let me pull up let me actually draw out these levels real quick. You have a daily level here. Whoops. Bada boom. Daily, and then we have this level here. Bada boom, another daily. So you have these two dailies here, but to be quite honest with you, there's not much. If you lose this daily naked point of control, weekly naked point of control, these are not huge, right? These are not that big. These are simple daily horizontals, but if these don't hold you up, you're probably on your way to revisit this naked value area, which is coming in between 51840 and 36962, right? Or between 51 and 36 cents. And then if we are able to get that move down, again, I'm not necessarily calling for this, but I am saying you definitely want to reclaim this level. If you can't, these two little measly dailies are the only thing holding you back from coming back down to your higher volume area, which is down here, again, between about 51 and 36 cents. So again, not necessarily calling for it, but if you get those moved down, it's important to have these levels marked out on your chart. But I would say right now, and like there's not even really like even the 2-hour, you have a little bullish divergence on the 2-hour, but money flow is just completely whacked out here. Yeah, you got to get above this level. That's your key level. And then you got to reassess the situation, but kind of decision time. And it's not like if we were coming down to this level, guys, and there were clear confirmations, if we had a nice divergence here with money flow coming up on the lower time frames with other confirmations, I would even take the long here live on stream. But it's just the setup is just not there for me. So yeah. Let's see. If you get that 4-hour green dot to print, like check the lower time frame money flow. Yeah. I'd be careful here. But that 80 cent level is definitely the most important level, at least in my opinion, right now. So hopefully you don't come up and reject that because it could be the kiss of death potentially. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. What is going on? Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Crypto Crabman said somebody bought the top. Who bought the top? Don't be buying tops, guys. Don't be buying tops, please, for the love of God. All right. It is 6:45. Oh, God, we couldn't get to 320 likes. Yikes. All right, let's see. Said it's amazing that people won't do something that costs them nothing, smash a like, for free memberships. These lazy people are too lazy to make money in trading. Shout out to Golden. Smash the like button, guys. Come on. Smash that dang like. Shout out to Fran Gonzalez, shout out to you, brother, says, Frankie, can you take a look at FTM? Yes, I can try to take a look at FTM in a minute. Let's just run through these last two altcoins, ADA and Bonk, and FTM. I'll remember it. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's take a look at Cardano, or Cardanzo, as your grandmother might call it. Actually, I haven't taken a look at ADA in a minute here. Let's pull up another chart. This is an older chart. Okay, I believe this is our current chart. So, actually, is it? Hang on. Let me pull up the daily here. I don't think this is it. Bear with me here, guys. Bybit, no. Should we make a new one? We can make a new one. All right. Let's take a look here. God, you're not getting a significant reaction off this weekly and daily naked point of control. That is not a good sign. Let me start a new chart here. Come on over to the monthly. Mark out some key levels. Bada boom. Monthly. And we'll get that monthly support as well. Whoops. Monthly support. Let's pull up the weekly. Bada boom. That's tapped. That's tapped. Yikes. That's tapped. All right. No weeklies. You could kind of consider this a weekly. Yeah, I guess you can consider this some kind of a weekly right here, which is essentially what we are hitting right now. Yeah, look at the money flow, though. Money flow on the weekly crossed over into the red on Cardano. Yikes. Yikes. Not the best look. Not the best look at all. Let me pull this little, yeah, this, in my opinion, would be key support. This point of control from this old range down at the bottom with that weekly level. I mean, you could even look at this value area high. Oh, God, man, this does not look great. All right, let's, like, I don't hate these. I don't hate this if we were getting some significant bullish confirmations down here. But we really are not. Oh, shout out to Tony D said your PC is broken. We got 330 likes. Oh, okay. Shout out to Tony D. All right, shout out to Tony. If we got the 330 likes, please, for the love of God, drop some memberships on these people. Yeah, I don't know. My numbers must be off. I've been on like 600 viewers for the past hour. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, YouTube. You're like literally like Google. You are like one of the biggest companies ever. My counter says 341. Yeah, mine's super broken. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Bo SNW says, scam token. I sold on my Cardano yesterday. And yeah, here's the thing. Are we about to flip this weekly to resistance? That would not be a good sign. See, like if we were coming down to this zone, guys, with like nice divergences, with money flow coming up, like this wouldn't look as bad, but we are just simply melting through these levels and looking like we want to flip them to support. So on Cardano, I would look to flip this weekly sitting at about 38 cents to support in order to save us here. But other than that, I mean, we just kind of dropped right through that level, probably in line with this point of control, this little consolidation. Yeah, right on that point of control. So yeah, this is you really want to, if you get stuck under this level, like what is likely to happen here, guys? And I'll just break it down in terms of a volume profile to make it easy to understand. Very simply put, POC of the range is right on that weekly, right? What has happened here if you're looking at this volume profile? You've broken below the value area low. You even got to bounce on the value area high, right? You come down. Let me mark out these levels real quick, right? You have the value area high sitting right here. You have the POC sitting right here. I won't mark the POC because it has a weekly here, right? And then you have your value area low sitting just below, right? Bada boom, bada bing. So, I mean, what happened here really, you got to bounce off the value area high, and then you got stuck back in the range. We are retesting this POC as resistance. As long as we remain below this level, I do think it's probably more likely to get a move down to that value area low at 36 cents, which we basically came down to. But I would expect these to be the local levels, and then if you lose these levels, yeesh, I don't know. I'd be looking at this volume profile right now. So this is what you want to hold. And, you know, not only do you want to reclaim the weekly, you also want to reclaim this value area high. So you got to get above this zone. These are the key levels on Cardano. Other than that, weekly money flow crossover into the red. High time frame money flow is in the red right now, so that is not looking the best. But those are the key levels that I would be looking at for Cardano. Somebody pray for Ada. Let's go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Derek Brown. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Shout out to Greg. Says, Frankie, your stream was lagging out for a bit. You need to refresh your YouTube. All right, here we go. Let's do a little refresh here. Shout out to Tony D. Tony, did you drop memberships? He's probably trying to figure that out right now. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Did it update? Let's see. Bada boom. Okay, there we go. 356 likes. That seems to have updated. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and jump into Bonk. Shout out to Greg. We know Greg loves to see Bonk. All right, so very simply put, let's take a look at the 2-day money flow in the red. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. Not good. Whoops. Let's see. 16-hour money flow crossover into the red. So, guys, you know, this is basically the same thing that we were looking at on Bitcoin, right? On Bitcoin, what have we been saying, right? All throughout this range, right? Or not all throughout the range, but all throughout this move down, right? As the money flow crosses over into the red, you have to anticipate that the bounces to the upside are lackluster to continue to the downside. Not just based off money flow, but also market structure. You get the bearish change of character here. Pull up Lux Algo to show you guys. By the way, if you want to sign up for Lux Algo, check the link in the description down below. If you want to check out any of their premium indicators, check that link. But that change of character, right? Like, this is how you stay on the right side of the market. You are looking for shorts on the retracement once you get that bearish change of character, rather than just looking for longs to $1 million, right? So you had that change of character, and then you did get a bounce up, but were you looking for this to go all the way up? Probably not. You would rather look for the short at on that retracement, right? And then that would have been the move to make. And it's the same thing. It is the same thing with the altcoins, right? Come back over to the alts, right? Looking at Bonk. 16-hour money flow crossover into the red has to make you anticipate, especially because you're not getting any kind of significant divergence. This is making you anticipate a lackluster bounce before putting in the lower high and continuing to the downside. Where is that lower high likely to come in at? Well, I would naturally be looking at your golden pocket 786 retracements. You could look, you know, depending on how locally you pull these, is going to be, you know, depending on what you want to look at, right? But for me, I would probably, I mean, you could pull it from any of these higher, lower highs, right? But I would probably, you know, the most local fib that I'd be looking at would be right here. Let me see something here. Just pull this super wonked out range real quick. Yeah, I mean, you are coming down to some support. But again, like any bounce you get with the money flow indicates the longer term trend, right? But in order to continue a trend, you need to have retracements, right? So this is where a lot of people get tripped up, right? I thought we had the money flow crossover into the red. Why are we pumping, right? It's okay. You can pump when money flows in the red, but you just have to understand the context is to look for those lower highs. I've been talking about this a lot, but I would be looking for some potential. Yeah, I'd be looking for some potential. I'd be very careful on those moves to the upside, right? And just looking at the, you know, if you wanted to pull the full retracement, you know, you could be looking up here. These two resistance levels that we already had on the chart are still relevant. But yeah, I would probably be looking. You can look at the hyper local one, but this one's a little bit more significant in my opinion. The other one's like I would consider hyper local. So unless you're scalping the tiny time frames, I wouldn't be paying too much attention to that one. Yeah, these are the two fibs I'd be looking at. I'm not going to read out the numbers just because, you know, I'll select it and you guys can read them. They're the numbers in blue. But yeah, that would be the local one, 2020, between 25.69 and 2020. And then the second one I would be looking at would be sitting here between 30.92 and oh wait, hang on. Oh no, those are the start points. Bear with me here, guys. Yeah, so the major fib I would look at is 28.63, and between 28.63 and 26.82, and then the local one would be pulled from this wick. Let me hide the candles real quick so I can read this. Between 24.52 and 23.59. There you go. So that's what I would be looking at. Again, lackluster bounce to the upside are likely before continuing to the downside based off money flow and market structure changing, or the change of character. But we do have this golden pocket sitting just below, which could act as support, right? So if we are going to get that bounce, maybe if we don't get it from where we're at right now, we may get it off that golden pocket. But again, the bias would be short here, right? Because of money flow as well. Pull up Lux Algo, change of character, right? Bearish change of character, right? We got to push up. But what was it? It was a lower high and a continuation down to break the structure. You can even see the break of structure labeled here on Lux Algo, BOS, right? So any bounce we got another bounce to the upside. What did it do? Lower high, continuation to the downside. So that is going to be the bias here until that money flow flips back into the green or at least starts curving in the right direction. This is a fresh crossover and could lead to more downside for bonk. But these two fib levels are what I would be looking at if you do continue down. And let me grab a fixed range here real quick. Pull that full range. Yeah, you could even look at this volume profile as well, right? Just to help you get a little more context into what is going on, right? So I'm not FOMO shorting here, right? We're at a value area low with a golden pocket just underneath, right? So I'm not FOMO shorting. So, but what I would rather do is wait for a bounce. Whether you find a scalp long on that bounce or not is another thing, but I would wait for the bounce to look for another short entry on a lower high. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at on bonk. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Greg, said I'm holding the coin itself, not longing or shorting. Yeah, I mean, listen. Yeah, so you probably want to pay attention just more to these key fib levels. Yeah, which I would probably be looking at these, right? So there you go, Greg. You can grab those levels right there. Let me see if I can get any naked points of control for you. If I can get any high time frame MPOCs confluent here. No monthlies. No weeklies. You do have a weekly naked point of control down here, Greg. That might act. You might want to have that on the chart as well if you really start getting a meltdown. Weekly MPOC sitting at 1459. Not necessarily anticipating it, but it is there. See any dailies down here? Man, yeah. This is not. Yeah, you got the golden pocket and the 786 until you get down to that weekly naked. That's about all you got in between. So there you go. Shout out to Greg. We got 369 likes. Shout out to Tony D. I guess we can't. Can we? Oh, he said memberships incoming. Technical difficulty. Shout out to Tony D. Let's go. All right. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Greg. Said, all right. So what I'm taking away from what I'm hearing is you don't think it will go back to 35 plus, and I'm doomed. Shout out to Greg. Definitely not what I'm saying. Shout out to you, brother. Let's see. Where are you at? 35. No, I mean, here's the thing, right? I know you're joking, Greg, obviously, but yeah, I would say, you know. I'm not really necessarily worried. I don't hold that many meme coins. Any meme coins I do hold, like I'm holding them, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm not really worried about Bitcoin right now, so I don't really. Obviously, if Bitcoin continues to dump, obviously bonk is likely to follow. But these are the key levels I would look at, right? If I were holding this long term, thinking that this is going to go super parabolic in the next, the next leg up, I wouldn't be panic selling if that's it. If that helps at all. So there you go. Let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Jungle Boy, says naked, just naked. Shout out to Jungle Boy. I hope you have some clothes on. Fun fact, guys, I actually do not stream with pants on. You're just not on camera. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. All right, let's take a look. That was the last. Let's take a look at FTM real quick, and then we'll take a look at a couple other alts. Okay, so FTM, ooh, nice little bounce here. Bitcoin, Bitcoin is just trying to get up there. Come on, baby, push it. Push it. What happened to that 15-minute red dot? Was that 15-minute red dot not confirmed like a minute ago? All right, yeah, come on, money flow. It's wonked out there. There we go. Shout out to Tony D for gifting the Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Tony D. Let's go. But there we go. I guess we did. Hey. What's going on here? Oh, God. Guys, the sign is rogue. The sign has gone rogue. Oh, God. What did I do here? Okay, there we go. You the man. Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. Let's get it. Look at all the green names in here. Let's go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo. Shout out to Derek Brown. Yo. Oh, shout out to Al Jr. said he got left out. Yay, I'm green again. Shout out to Elite Ways. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. There was a little too much gray in here. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you got to dye those grays. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there just yet, but I did find a gray hair. I found my first gray hair recently. Yikes. Well, shout out to everybody who just became a member. Let's go. Shout out to Tony D for dropping those. I appreciate you, brother. And shout out to the technical difficulties. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Taking a look at FTM, or FTM, as some people like to say. FTM, bada boom, bada bing. And here we go. All right. So let me clear this. I'll make a nice fresh chart. Take a look at the monthly. Okay, so you got a monthly naked point of control right here. Bada boom. I'm going to try to do this really quickly. Bada boom. You got another one right there. Drop over to the weekly. Oh, God, you got a lot of weeklies here. Hang on one second. Let me go ahead and do... okay. All right, so you got a lot of weeklies here. I'm only going to mark out the significant ones or the ones that are relevant, right? So there's a weekly. Bada boom. And here's another weekly. And here's another weekly. And here's another weekly. That one's pretty much tapped, right? Didn't actually touch the level, but and let's take a look at the daily. It's probably okay. Okay. Mark out this daily naked. Bada boom. And I'll mark out this one as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull our volume profile. Mark that out with a nice little box. Shout out to Creighton. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, it's a sign he's having one of those Frankie Magic moments. What does it mean? Like the Red Bull spill, the Lambo breakdown, finds lost bully. Yo, shout out to Creighton. See, he is right. Every time something weird happens like that, something happens to the market, I spill Red Bull, the market dumps. Me and Tony run out of gas in the Lamborghini, and the market dumped after that. I found a lost dog. Did the market pump or dump on that, Creighton? I don't even remember. And then, yeah, this could be another sign. Sign goes crazy, causes another breakdown. Somebody mark this down. Shout out to Creighton. Somebody put this in the books. If the market dumps in the next 3 days, it definitely was because the Frankie Candle sign went AWOL. Shout out to Creighton C. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. All right, let's see. +1 lost puppy. Yeah, we found this little pup. I was in my neighborhood, and this dog I was walking, and I heard something behind me. I looked behind me, and it was just like a dog following me. He was the cutest little thing. He was like an older guy, and his name was Simba. Oh, he was so cute. But he had no collar, no nothing. We brought him to the animal hospital. They chipped him. They called the owners. The owners didn't want to come pick him up. I felt horrible, but they wound up coming to get him. We actually made sure that they came to get him because I was not going to just leave him. But cute little dog. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, let's continue here. So, yeah, obviously we have lost almost all of these ranges on every altcoin here, breaking down out of that volume profile. And if we pull up Market Cipher here, we're probably looking very similar to everything else with, the green dot printing on the is that confirmed? Yeah, confirmed 4-hour green dot did give you a little bounce. But look at the higher time frames, right? 16-hour money flow coming out pretty aggressively. Daily money flow coming out, not aggressively, but it is coming out. 2-day money flow on the way to the downside. Yeah, with the money flow in the red like this, we have to anticipate that these bounces are likely to be lackluster before putting in lower highs and continuing to the downside. So where is our key level of resistance? Well, this would be somewhat of an interesting level. You have your 786, your naked point of control, your daily naked point of control, and your golden pocket. So this would be an interesting resistance. If we do get that bounce, could put in a lower high here to break structure and continue back to the downside. If you get back above that level, you just run into more resistance, right? You actually have quite a plethora of resistance up here. Value area low, weekly naked point of control. Let's see, golden pocket. Yeah. So these would be the key levels I'd be looking at to the upside. Now, to the downside, your next significant levels of support is going to be this monthly and weekly naked point of control, sitting between 41 and 39 cents. Let's pull some fibs as well. I'm trying to find some confluence here. Let's pull it from this wick all the way to the high. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, if you lose, I would say if you lose the 786 at 50 cents, you're going to be more likely to come back down to this next zone of support sitting right here. Bada boom. Bada bing. Between 42 and 39 cents. So, yeah, hold the 786. I'd look for a push up into these resistance levels where it would be likely to potentially put a lower high and continue down. Once you lose that 786, my eyes would be down here to this monthly and weekly naked point of control. As far as Market Cipher, 6-day red dots confirmed. Let's see. Weekly money flow crossing over into the red. Come on. Are we in a bull market or what? Why is money flow going into the red? I do not like this on the weekly. Come on. Oh, speaking of money flow, shout out to Crypto Face. Let's go. He says, is that you, Frankie? Shout out to Crypto Face. Let's go. What is going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Face, what are you thinking, bro? What are you thinking? Where are we going, dude? I am, yeah, I don't know. These alts, I'll be honest. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't look as bad to me, but some of these alts with the money flow looking to cross over into the red on the weekly. Face, what do you take away from this? What are you thinking? Let me know, bro. Thank you for that super chat, bro, and thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. Shout out to you, brother. Drop those Market Cipher emojis in the chat for our boy Face. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Face. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking, Face. God, this is looking a little sketchy. And shout out to CryptoFace. Sell in May and walk away. I don't know. It seems pretty seems pretty accurate. There's a market cipher emojis. Let's go. Drop them in the chat. I'm going to spam some too. I never use my own emojis. Let's see. Bada boom. Yeah, let's get it. Let's go. Can I get banned in my own chat by spamming? At Tyler Durden. Please don't ban me. Please don't ban me. Let's go. Shout out to Market Cipher. Yeah. This is weekly money flow not looking that great, right? And like I always say, guys, the way I like to interpret the money flow, if that crosses into the red, for sure, those bounces to the upside, I will be looking for lower highs rather than moonshot longs. The kind of sticky situation we're in my personal opinion, is where we are within the 4-year cycle, right? Like if the 4-year cycle is going to repeat or be, someone put Mrs. Candle's hands in chat. But yeah, like with where we are in the market, if this, if we are about to launch into the next leg of a bull run, you don't typically see the weekly money flow cross back over into the red, especially not that it's happening here. Like the weekly money flow looks much healthier on Bitcoin, in my opinion, than the alts. But especially Bitcoin. Like if this money flow came into the red on Bitcoin, that is something that we do not typically see at this point in the market, right? Like we took a look at this yesterday as well. And shout out. Just for anybody who comes into, when we go into another bear market, like remember this, right? Because we were talking about this all the way back when I first started my channel before we came down into the I almost said parabolic bear market. When we came down and capitulated into the bear market, one of the big things we were looking at to buy for long-term spot bags was weekly money flow crossing over into the red and getting a big drop. And then typically and historically, every time that happens, if you guys watch the channel, I talked about this a lot, going all the way back from when I started my channel. Money flows in the red on the weekly, you're buying the bottom of the bear market, right? Red money flow on the weekly, bottom of the bear market, best time to buy Bitcoin, right? Down here, money flow goes into the red. You get your capitulation to the downside. You buy while money flow is in the red. This is literally the strategy I use to DCA into the market and run my KuCoin DCA bots on my altcoins. And what happens, right? You're buying the bottom of the bear market. I'm assuming we're not just going to nuke down to nothing, right? And then, even back here, I think we looked at this the other day, right? Money flow goes into the red, capitulation to the downside, you're buying the bottom of the bear market. We looked at this before it happened, and it wound up working out again, right? So typically when you get that money flow crossover into the red or into the green, I guess you get a little fake out here, a little bit, but this is earlier in the market, right? Like once you get that halving, like money flow crosses over into the green, halving happens, like there was no other crossover into the red, right? I don't know exactly where these older, halvings were. I don't know the exact dates. We can look at the cycle chart in a sec to take a look at that. But right, money flow crossed over into the green, and then boom, you're just in the green for the whole bull market, right? It's not often where you see money flow just go back into the red. So you got to be careful. But yeah, entry strategy of the century there with the red money flow. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's check in locally on Bitcoin. Okay, there's the red dot. I thought this confirmed already. So let's see if we can get a little retracement here. And then get that money flow to come back up into the green, and then look for that green dot. I was hoping it was going to happen on live on stream, but it may not be the case here. May not be the case. Pull my fib real quick. Nobody look. I'm pulling my fib. Nobody look. Yeah, maybe we come for a little retracement back down into this blue zone, put in a higher low, and then continue off. That would be the hope, unless that money flow doesn't cross over. We'll have to see. But there we go. We took a look at FTM, right? That was the last thing we looked at. Bada boom. Yeah, so FTM. Let's take a look at ICP. I saw a bunch of requests for ICP. Let's go. Shout out to Creighton. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, post-halving, daily, the 2-day, even the 5-day money flow can fake out into the red. Ignored the all-time high. It's 3 months after the halving. It happens. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's go. Yeah, the daily, the 2-day, and the 5-day money flow can fake out into the red. And apparently, I do actually stand corrected here first. I kind of proved myself a little bit wrong here on the weekly. We did actually fake out into the red. Let me come back to the Bitstamp chart real quick. We actually did fake out into the red a little bit here on the weekly. But that was only on... Oh, yeah, because this money flow starts the 24th. Yeah, so you did fake out back into the red here very slightly. It was very shallow waves. Wow, that must have been a confusing time. Yeah, what a sketchy time. You get a huge, like, what was this, 100%, right, or 350% rally in 2019, and then you think of the bull market's back on, and then you fake out into the red, and then you get a mega dump on the March 2020 news, only to come back all the way up. Oh, man, I would have been, ugh, that was, ugh. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and continue on. Took a look at FTM. Let's take a quick look at ICP. Bada boom, bada boom. Yeah, shout out to Ravi. Says just a manipulation before the ETF money comes to ETH. Stay in low leverage long. I am also low leverage long, Ravi. Shout out to you, brother. I have to agree with you. All right, let's go ahead and see. Shout out to Anthony. Says thank you for doing ICP. I appreciate you. No problem, Anthony. I got it. I'm doing it just for you, brother. I'm just kidding. I'm doing it for everybody. But you might have been the one that I saw ask for it. Actually, I saw a few people ask for it. Yeah, shout out to Dylan. That was the C word. I'm not going to say it out loud. But yeah, March 2020, we all know what that dump was. Will we get another black swan, right? I will say this. If we're going to get some kind of massive dump to the downside and we're going to, like, really come down to some scary levels, I do think it would have to be assisted with a black swan event. What could that be? I don't know. Google those special 3 letters, guys. The first two letters are W. And things are getting pretty crazy. All right, let's see. Okay, let's continue on. ICP. Okay. Bada boom. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, fresh red dot on the daily. Yeah, a lot of the alts look very, very similar. This is, yeah, shout out to Dan Ludwig. Yeah. Google that. Google what Dan Ludwig said. And, yeah, it could be a potential black swan. But anyway, let's take a look here on ICP. Yeah, so red dot on the daily. This is obviously not like the most bullish sign immediately. 2-day looking for a green dot potentially. Nothing really too convincing. Red money flow in the red on the 12-hour. 10-hour green dot potentially looking to print. 8-hour, yeah, it's just not what you want to see for a strong bottom. You guys know we love the strong bottoms on this channel, and this is not what you want to see for strong bottoms. Lower lows on price. No divergence here, in my opinion. Maybe it's an exaggerated divergence, but, it's not the strongest signal, in my opinion, right? So, what we really want to see is clear lower lows with clear higher lows with money flow coming up. Typically, for the most part, guys, if we are looking at a level of support, right, and price action is approaching, right, bada boom, bada bing, right, you want a lower low right into price action. Honestly, like let's say you're just ranging around, right, and then you could put a lower low in on your price action like this, and then on Market Cipher, you want to see a low and then a clear higher low, right? You want it to be a clean divergence, and then if you can have money flow at the same time that you're seeing this, about to cross over into the green, that's what you want to see for a big move to the upside. But this is not what we're seeing here. We're seeing some kind of exaggerated divergences. If you don't know what an exaggerated divergence is, it's simply where you have lower lows on price action and you have equal lows on your oscillator, right? And I'm going to delete that really quick because I can already hear the comments coming in. But that's an exaggerated divergence. You got to have equal lows. I'll draw that like that. Equal lows on your oscillator with lower lows on your price. Technically, this is still a divergence, but sometimes they don't play out as strong, and sometimes they just play out as normal. So I just consider these like less confident divergences. But this is simply not what we're seeing here, right? Sure, we have some kind of exaggerated divergence, but it's not like we have money flow like curving back up into the green. This is not really what we want to see, or at least me, right? So what happens if we continue lower? Well, let's take a look here. Let's pull up some key levels, pull up those naked points of control, take a look at the monthly. Bada boom, come on. Nope, it's broken. Let me change the, oh no, is it loading? No, there we go. All right, let me change this to rows, bada boom. Okay, so we have a monthly naked point of control. We have 2 monthly nakeds down here. Now, hopefully we don't have to come all the way back down there for ICP, but if we did, these would be big buy the dip areas for me, in my own personal opinion, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, weekly, bada boom. Yeah, take a look at that weekly. Yeah, so these would be the key levels I would be looking at. Let's pull that lower range. No real confluence there. All right. So, yeah, let's pull up the VPVR real quick and take a look at what seems to be scary volume. Yeah. So, you have no tapped. You have some tapped weeklies there. No daily there. Oh, God, yeah. This don't look the best, to be honest with you, right? So you have your high volume node here. Big old volume gap we are breaking into this low volume gap, guys. You have this little high volume node right here, little high volume node, but for the most part, you have a pretty big gap on volume. This is typically where you see price fall through very quickly. And then, right here, right on the start of your big high volume node down here, you have that weekly naked point of control. So in my opinion, the next macro level of support, is really everything else is pretty local and not that significant down here. Your next real significant point of control or area of support is going to be this weekly naked point of control at 551. I'm not saying we're going down there, but if you were to just free fall through this gap and these little high volume nodes do not hold you up, that is going to be the big level to watch. Weekly naked point of control coming in at 551, monthly naked point of control at 453. So there you go. Other than that, I would have to guess, right? Looking red dot on the daily. We took a look at that already. 8 hour, maybe you get a short-term bounce, but based off money flow here, guys, 3-day money flow crossing over into the red, 4-day money flow not looking good. So if we do get a bounce, you have to understand, right, that we're going to be more likely to get a lackluster push to the upside before putting in a lower high and continuing back down. And again, not just based off money flow, but also the market structure. Bearish change of character. This is where you're looking for shorts, not FOMOing short, but looking for shorts. And in order to find a good entry, you have to get a retracement, right? Just pretty much the same as everything else. Everything looks very, very, very similar as far as that goes. So there is ICP. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and sticking around till the end of the show here. Shout out to CryptoFace for coming in and stopping by, dropping those Market Cypher emojis. Let's go. If you guys want to sign up for Market Cypher, you guys can always use the link in the description down below and my discount code MCFrank20 to save on Market Cypher. If you guys are interested, Anthony says, legend, thanks. Shout out to you, Anthony. I appreciate you for being here. I genuinely appreciate everybody for tuning in and sticking here till the end. Hollywood said, Frankie the GOAT. We do have the GOATs. They're on the other side of the camera here, but they kind of just root me on the whole stream. But, guys, we got 411 likes. Let's go. Shout out to the Mafia. Smash that like button on your way out, guys. It's the easiest and most free way to help spread this YouTube channel out into the YouTube algorithm so we can grow this family into an unstoppable force, even more unstoppable than we already are. So with all that being said, shout out to Golden. Let's go. Shout out to Golden ending the stream strong with an extra 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. You get one, and so does the whole Mafia. Let's go. Shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much. I got to go get a new chair, guys. Shout out to Golden and shout out to the Mafia. I love each and every single one of you. I do not just say that because I'm on camera. I say it because you guys make this possible, and I get to get up here and do what I love every single day with some of the best people out there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Pray for Bitcoin, baby. Pray for Bitcoin. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Oh, God. Wrong button. Ah!
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
And that song you just heard was Head in the Clouds by Vic Sage. Shout out to Anthony. I saw you ask that question a couple times. I actually had to Shazam it. Or Siri it, I guess, which uses Shazam. But yeah, Head in the Clouds by Vic Sage. There's also a full playlist in the free Discord. If you get in there, I believe the full Frankie Candles playlist is in there, except for the goats. The goats are actually real. And shout out to Dave Digital said, I truly love when a creator goes well over an hour consistently. These are the ones not just here for the algorithm. Thank you, Frankie Candles. And shout out to Dave Digital. Dave, you are this YouTube channel. Shout out to you, brother. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Pray for Bitcoin. Somebody pump this thing. Golden? Golden? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Hasta basta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the